Coach here. We're just having a look at plants that have large leaves. You know, if you think about it, in the jungle and the rainforest, that the plants that live on the floor of the rainforest, they have these humongous leaves. And one of the reasons why they have big leaves is so they have more surface area to catch the light. It just makes them happier, makes them grow. I mean, they've got all these huge trees and things growing that are blocking out the light. So that's what makes them have large leaves. So I have some plants here. This is some of the philodendron. This one is called Philodendron Salome, which is just a fairly common house plant. You know, I really like these ones because when they decide to grow, they grow super fast. And I like plants that grow fast because it's just kind of fun. I'd rather have to pinch off leaves and than to have to wait for them to grow. So these little guys are really easy to grow, and they're super fast to grow. They just like a fair bit of moisture. They like to be watered fairly heavily when they're first watered, and fertilizer, they're good for that, and I think they would take as much as you want to give them. The more you fertilize, the faster they grow. They are one of the plants that will develop quite large leaves over time, generally over about 12 to 14 inches, these ones, and really quite a beautiful plant. But because it has large leaves, you know it's going to be pretty good for low light conditions. So that's one of the things. When you see plants with big leaves, you can just assume they're better in lower light. So with that in mind, you know, there's lots of other plants. We have some little prayer plants here on the side, and these guys are also excellent for low light conditions. So one of my favorite little plants. And so I always seem to have prayer plants around somewhere. Maranta, that's a botanical name. And these guys, when it comes to philodendrons, there's all kinds of different types that have bigger and smaller leaves, and very common and very reasonably priced for purchasing. But I always love it when it gets one of these really nice brand new leaves that comes out. And this thing is not finished growing yet. It's going to keep getting bigger and bigger. So really nice. But you know, we also have different types of plants like the alocasias. Alocasias are these elephant ear plants. They have quite big leaves as well. And calocasias, which is another group. Again, some of them have humongous leaves. Some of them are 2 or 3 feet across. There's also the monsteras. The monstera group is one that you do see quite commonly. People love it. There's all kinds that people collect. Some people like the variegated leaf types, which are really, generally they get fairly expensive. But really do love the monsteras. Now that's a plant that is, again, a climbing vine, so it can get to be just literally monstrous. I've seen them growing in the wild and, you know, in areas in the landscapes in some tropical regions. And, you know, the plants are 15 feet across and they'll go up the tree, you know, 60, 70 feet, and the leaves are 3 feet across. So what a cool plant. You know, that's a really cool one. For the house, when you keep them in these small pots, you'll find that they're relatively easy to keep small. But it's always good to research your plants just to make sure that you know, just so that you know the amount of space you need to keep them. So I really like these guys. This plant's ready for planting up into a bigger pot. It's just in a 6-inch pot right now, but this guy needs to go right into a 10 or 12-inch pot, and then I'd be looking at moving it even into bigger ones. But I like to get these outside in the summertime, nice shady spot. Adds a beautiful tropical touch. You know, there's lots of great plants that do have big leaves, and so I have included a few pictures of them here for you to have a look at, and I'll put in the botanical names and the common names, of course, for you so you can see what they are. And with each plant, when you know the name of it, you can look it up and learn about that specific plant, which is always so important when it comes to all plants. So try and learn the botanical name, or at least, you know, have it written down somewhere so you can do some more research on it. So that's it for today on large leaf tropicals. Thanks very much for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video coming very soon.